Well guys, I thought I'd scope out the commercial 10 tonight. So I just hooked up this jumper box right to the starter, and it turns over, that's for sure. But the spark plug's in there. Like some idiot put a spark plug from a car in here. It's not even the right spark plug. But I'm wondering if it's got compression. Sounded like it, but let's see what happens without the plug. Oh yeah, we got compression. I'm gonna put my finger over it and see what it's like with my thumb on it. Oh yeah, we got compression. That's cool. So the next question is, do we got spark? And this might be a little harder for me to figure out because I think we're missing some wiring on this piece of crap. Let me just look at this for a minute. Let's see what happens if I hook up my jumper cables to the actual battery cables here. If the key works. I doubt it, but whatever, we'll give it a shot. Yeah, the key doesn't work, so I'd have to like jump the hot wire on the coil to the battery. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I've done it, but it's kind of a pain in the butt, so I think I'm gonna retreat and say I gotta work on the wiring here a little bit before I go any farther. But it does have compression. That's a good sign. So, you know, if we look at this coil and everything, it does look pretty hairy. This condenser is real crappy looking, but there is like a bunch of crap on the key switch there. Key switch has got to be shot, like I can pretty much guarantee that. But I'm gonna take my I got the voltage regulator over here. What I'm probably gonna do is take my voltmeter out and just test these wires going from the solenoid up to the key switch, let's say, and see what we got with them. And if they've got continuity and everything, then I'll take out the switch and I'll test the switch on the bench with the continuity tester and see if it's any good. But I can tell just trying to turn the key, it's very stiff. And it doesn't feel right, and it's like stuck in the start position. So I pretty much can guarantee that the switch is shot. And anyways, we'll see what we got. Well, this is the key switch. It's definitely shot. All my wires have continuity to the various places they go. I labeled them all with some tape. I just happen to have one in stock because they blow all the time. So it's one of these parts that I like to stock in my shelf. So I got this one here. I'm going to take it out, hook it up, and we'll see what happens. Well, I got the new key switch in and all my wires check out, and I still got nothing. So what I did is I got these little leads with these alligator clips. They're great. I ran that to the solenoid to where the power should come off from the key, and I hooked up my voltmeter, and I do have voltage coming to the solenoid. As you can see, I have the key in the start position. I'll let go of the key, the voltage will turn off. So that tells me that my solenoid is shot. So what I'm going to do is take the solenoid off the tractor and see if I can bench test it. But I'm pretty much going to guarantee the solenoid shot. So I have to buy one. I don't have a spare sitting around, but that's definitely going to be the issue with this bad boy. And I think if we get that brewing, then we can, you know, have the starter working again, which would be great. So for now, we'll check back in when we get a new solenoid. They sell them at Tractor Supply in the tractor, not garden tractor, but like the farm tractor section, and they're pretty inexpensive. They're like 25 bucks or something. They work pretty good. So that will be our next investment. Alright, so I got the ghetto solenoid tester out. What I did is I took the solenoid to the grinder, bench grinder on the wire wheel, and I cleaned up the contact areas where it interfaces with ground. So I've clamped my ground on there, and I've got just a wire wedged under the positive terminal here. I'll plug in my charger, and I'll take this wire and touch the top. It's actually working. It didn't want to work, and I tapped it with a hammer like 3 times, and it must have loosened it up. And now it's working fine. So I'm going to put it back in the tractor and see what we can do. First I'm going to clean up these lugs a little bit, and we'll put it together and see if we can't get it to work this time. So I got the solenoid back in the tractor, and we're going to see what happens now with this thing. And I got all the connections all cleaned up, and all my wires hopefully are good. Let's see what happens. Ooh, it's clicking, but we got nothing happening at the starter. Click sounds pretty good. I may take these cables off the starter and just clean them up a hair. We might have a bad connection on the starter itself, because I clearly, oh, it's not really clicking much anymore. Let me try hooking the battery right up to the starter again and see if the battery's dead or what. Let's see. Yep. Oh, there it goes. I think the battery is getting kind of drained. Let's try it again. Let's see. Well, I'll putz around with these connections a little bit more.